So we're going to deal with topic called types of attributes. Because this has got connection with info set and all, so we'll have to look at this first, then we'll get on to this. Very important. There's two questions you always get from this point. We have different types of attributes like display attribute, navigational attribute, time dependent attribute, display, navigational, time dependent navigational attribute, compounding, transient attribute, transitive transitive transitive. For now we'll take this as transitive. If it's something name, I'll change it. Second level of navigational attribute is okay. So we'll have different types of attributes like this: display attribute, exclusive attribute, navigational, time dependent navigational, compounding, transient provider, transient attribute. Okay, transient attribute. Transient chapta. By the time I finish, I'll remember any. See, based on the type of attribute you model, it's the where it is stored or how it is stored and how it behaves in the reporting will differ. Till now we've just been dealing with display attributes now, but we'll have different types of attributes you can model. Based on the type of attribute you model in BW, it's the place how it gets stored is different and its behavior in the reporting will be different. Now for example, now I've got this cube. If you look at this cube, I've got a characteristic called what? What is product? In the cube, I've got product characteristic, and this has got a characteristic attribute called what? What is this? Product type. Yeah? Let's do reporting on this cube. Say I've got product, then same amount and say some quantities. Hope this has got data in it. Type conflict. One second, let me. The dates are old. S1 sales time. all enabled. But each attribute will behave separately in the reporting, so I need to have some cube. I can show you before and after. Okay, boss. See. So I get to see the three products and their values. This is like simple cube here. Now my requirement is this. Now first we are dealing with this display attribute. Okay. Monday. Okay. Now if you look at this cube, it's got product. Yeah? It's got a characteristic called product, and this product has an attribute called, let's say, product category. Now let me get into this. You see an attribute called product category. And what does it say? Now what are the attribute you've been creating till today? It is just normal display attributes. Just normal display attribute. That's and where is this value getting stored? So it shows in the reporting for this product. Let me get to see the attributes. Expand this product and you see attribute here. What is this here? Drag this product category. Okay, save it. So in the reporting, can I get to see the attribute here? Let's say I do drill down on something else. Okay. Now product category is actually display attribute of product. Yeah? Now when I remove this product from the drill down, even attribute is gone. So display attribute is completely dependent on the characteristic in the reporting. So product category is actually a display attribute of product, so it is completely dependent on the product. That is one point. And next point, where is this category value getting stored? If you see, is it inside the P table? Yeah. For this P1 downstream, upstream, downstream, is this attribute value getting stored in /P table? You know what /P? Master data table. And how is this getting connected to your cube? P table gets connected to SI table, SI table gets connected to dimension table gets connected to cube. Yeah, fact table. Yeah. So in the reporting, is it completely dependent on the characteristic? No, if the characteristic has a drill down, that it is shown. Otherwise, if I remove characteristic, even that is gone. Right? And one more major point is, say for example, I maintain this master database. Yeah? Like how do you maintain? Click on maintain. Then actually got maintain the problem. I can just go here and edit that entries. I'll modify from here also. You know how to maintain master data. Manual, I'm changing the value, but in the real time, you would load the master data, which will change those attributes. Now, let's say this for P102, let's say the value is changed from up to, let's say, and master data is changed now. If I go to the reporting, you get it as what? Middle list. Are you getting modified value? So when you model an attribute as display attribute, it is completely dependent on the characteristic in the reporting, and the value is referred from the master data table P. Since the property of master data is always overwrite, in the reporting you always get the latest change, latest value. Present truth is what you get in the reporting. So if you model an attribute as display attribute, it always shows you present truth in the reporting, and it is completely dependent on the characteristic. Got this point? Okay. Now my question is, why do you want it to act as attribute like this? Boss, I would like to do individual drill down on it, or let's say I would like to do some filtering on product category. Can I do filtering? When it is display attribute, I cannot do filtering, I cannot do any variables, nothing can be done. Just for displaying along with the characteristic bus. Okay. That's your what? Display attribute. Next we are focusing on exclusive attribute bus. Now let's look at this. When I say exclusive, you remember for this product category, does it have a checkbox called attribute only? Look at this. Do you know this checkbox? What does the checkbox do? When you enable this checkbox attribute only, it means this info bit can be used only as an attribute. But if I deselect this characteristic info bit can be used as attribute of another characteristic, or it can also be used as a characteristic in my cube also. So is this selected? Is this deselected, boss? Yes or no, boss? Is it deselected? Yeah, good. What I want to So why do you think, if you look at the characteristic which is in the master, it is giving you present truth, boss. Always the changed value. But what is actually fact? When he performed transaction with product P102, it was actually under what? Upstream. But now it is latestly it is changed to what? Middle stream, and the entire report it is showing under middle stream. Is it not correct? It's correct or not? In some cases it might be correct. If the user wants to see present truth, then it's fine. But if user wants to see fact, then what? You wanted to see what was the value during the time of transaction, you want to see that in the reporting. You getting this? Yeah? Now look at this. What will I do? First thing we'll focus on navigational attribute, then we'll get on to, yeah. Now look at this. Exclude attribute. First navigational attribute we'll get in, then we'll get into this. Now when you say navigational attribute, it's like it is stored in the mass data only, it gives you present truth, but acts like a characteristic in the reporting for you. Same like any other characteristic in the cube, it acts like a characteristic. How do you change it? Now look at this. Change this for product category. Make sure your attribute only checkbox is deselected. Yeah. Then you can enable this button. What is button here? Navigation. See, look at this. It gets now with the name this. It is converted as what? NAV. And now it asks you what is the technical description you want. So this will be technical name of your navigation attribute. The main characteristic name underscore product category. Product underscore category and description you can always text. You can type in. You can just select this. It takes in automatically. And then say activate. When you make this as navigation attribute, what it does, it forms another table called, what is this? /x. I'll tell you what is that. Very, very important. Okay, navigation attribute. You just deselect attribute only checkbox and switch on the navigation attribute properties. Once you, and it forms X table, I'll tell you what is that X table later. And then you got to go to the cube on which you're doing reporting. Yeah. And are we using this product characteristic here in the cube? Yes. Then in the navigation attribute folder, you will see the enabled now. Yes, product underscore, what is it here? Yes, product underscore category bus. Now you see a checkbox on off, you need to enable this on, yeah, and then activate. There are two settings how you convert an attribute to navigation. First, you should enable, make sure attribute only is deselected, switch on the navigation attribute property, go to the provider where you're doing reporting and enable that navigation attribute on bus. Now look at this. Now I'll go to close this out, log in again to refresh the definition of that. I'll go to this query now. Look at this. Okay, you made it as navigation attribute, right? Look at this. When I go to the product dimension, now I see product and product categories also. So do you see product category also as a separate characteristic? Now look at this. Technical name, if you see, this is S product. This is S product underscore S product category. What is this here? Navigation attribute. Is it showing navigation attribute as if it's a characteristic of a cube? Cube lo characteristic ettundo atla చూపిస్తుంది navigation attribute. You will get two versions of it. చూడు. ఇక్కడ కనిపిస్తుంది, ఇక్కడ you will see normal display version of it, and you will also see what? Navigation attribute version of it. Let me use both of them in the reporting. So I'm using, look, this is normal display version. This is navigation attribute version. See, navigation attribute is shown as a characteristic in my dimension. Yeah. Let's save this. Let me run the query now. This is a navigation attribute. This is a normal attribute. Now let me remove product from the drill down. But does the category still stay back? When you make an attribute as navigation attribute, it acts as a characteristic in the reporting. Whatever you can do with characteristic, I can do that with the navigation. Let's say I would like to do filtering with upstream. Now I'll go to filter. Do I have this navigation attribute? Like product, do I have this navigation attribute bus? Right click, can I do restrict? Can upstream, downstream, or can I go with variables? No, characteristic means ఏమేం చేయగలుగుతావు, you can do everything with this navigation attribute bus. Okay, boss. Now how is it enabling us this way? Another concept. Okay, boss. యాక్చువల్గా ఎక్స్ టేబుల్ ఏముంటుందా అంటే చూడు బస్ యాక్చువల్గా ఎలా ఉంటుందిరా అంటే you go to this product display I just want to show you the link between your dimension table and first of all get to the X table. Let me go to the what is this table? SI table of product. First remember what is the SI table of which product, what is it here? What is it? P101, 102, 103, it's 2, 3 and what? 4. Okay? Okay, Rabas? 2, 3 and 4 is the SIDs of products, okay? Okay. Now let me go to the attribute. What is the attribute here? Product category which is set as a navigation attribute, right? Let me go to this table. This also will maintain its own SI tables now, separate. Now go and double click. What is this S product category is? What is table is this? SI table of what? Product category was. Get the SI table of 3. Downstream is 2, middle stream is 4, upstream is what? 3. Don't get confused. For P101, 102, 103, it is 2, 3, 4. This so it was 2, 3, 4 in the down, up, middle first. Down, up, middle, 2, 3, 4. Remember these values, yeah? Now I told you, as soon as you configure navigation attribute, does it create X table, new table called X? So X table will have the mapping between which SID of the product is matching to which SID of the product category. SID linking of the navigation attributes. If I go to X table, what it says? Normal SID of your product with what? What is this? SID of category. Just go here. It says SID2, which is P0. What is this? SID of the product and product number referring to SID of my product category. 2 is what? Upstream. And then up, down, middle. Yeah. So 2 indicates up. And then it does a P101 indicates down. Down. Yeah. And P102 belongs to 4. 4 is what? Middle. So SID of product is 3. And the corresponding navigation attribute SID of this is what? SID of what? Product category is 4. 4 indicates middle. So you have the linking between the SID of your product versus SID of your navigation attribute value. Okay. So when you set as navigation attribute, it generates SIDs for it, and those SIDs are linked to your main characteristic SIDs here. Okay. And that is what X table indicates. Okay. Good. Now do you remember the fact table and dimension table? Now I have dimension table 7, which is linked with what? Product. Now if I observe the dimension table of 7, will I have dimension IDs and SID of products? If from the dimension table, when I know SID of the product, from the SID can I know what is SID of the product category bus? By linking the X table. So X table is connected to dimension table bus directly. I'll go to my queue. Fact table. Yeah. What are the dimension where we put product? Remember? Let me see the content. Let's focus on the 5 records. Let's focus on settings, field name 7 is. This 7 2 3 4 2 4 means you'll have what do you have in the fact table? Dimension IDs. So from this dimension IDs, can I know what was the SIDs in which table? Dimension table. Remember this is 2 3 4 2 4. X. Now which dimension table am I focusing on? Dimension table 7. In this I will know what is 2, what is 2, what is 3, what is 4. 2 indicates 2 SID of the product, 3 indicates 3 SID of the product, 4 indicates 4 SID of the product, which is nothing but P101, 102, 103. Yeah. Now do I know, no, from now, do I know which transaction was performed which product? Yes. Now once I know which transaction belongs to which SID of the product, now when this dimension table is connected to what? What is this here? X table. From the X table, can I know which SID of the product belongs to which category it is? SID 2 indicates SID of the category 2, SID 3 indicates SID of the category 4, and then 4 indicates 3. So fact is connected to dimension, dimension is connected to X table directly, which will help you to have the navigation attribute act like a characteristic in the cube, in the reporting. ఆ ఎక్స్ టేబుల్ ఎస్ఐడిస్ పెట్టుకుని ఆ ఎక్స్ టేబుల్ని డైరెక్ట్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి దాని ద్వారా ఆ యాట్రిబ్యూట్ అనేది క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్గా బిహేవ్ చేస్తుంది అన్నట్టు. బట్ విల్ ద పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఆఫ్ యూ నావిగేషన్ అప్పుడు ఇస్ కంపారిటివ్లీ బ్యాడ్ బికాస్ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ జాయిన్ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్. ఫ్యాక్ట్ టు డైమెన్షన్, డైమెన్షన్ టు ఎక్స్, ఎక్స్ టు ఎస్ఐడి మళ్ళీ అట్లా పోతుంది, రైట్? ఇట్ టేక్స్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఈస్ కంపారిటివ్లీ బ్యాడ్. Do you understand this? Now one more point what I want to observe is I would like to change this. I would like to modify my data in this. Here middle din I want to change it up again. Did I modify? Yes, product together. Whenever you do some changes, try to activate your master. It says okay. But when I do these changes, should it reflect changes in the X table? Instead of my product 2 referring to the SI table of middle stream, it should start referring to SI table of upstream. మారలే కదా అది యాక్చువల్గా నేను ఐఎమ్ నాట్ మెయింటైనింగ్ నేను టేబుల్కి వెళ్ళి మారుస్తున్నాను. సో ఐ మస్ట్ యాక్చువల్లీ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్, హౌ డూ యూ మెయింటైన్ మాస్టర్ డేటా? యూ ఎదర్ లోడ్ ఆర్ యూ డూ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ ది మెయింటైన్ మాస్టర్ డేటా కదా. ఏ సార్ నేను లోడ్ చేస్తాను లేదా, లెట్ మీ లోడ్. దీనికి మళ్ళీ డేట్ ప్రొవైడర్ ఉందో లేదు చూసుకుని up ఉంది కదా ఇక్కడ. now let me load it again so that let it go and overwrite. I'm loading master again so that it will change it back to upstream bus. Good. Let me go to product now. Now let's observe. Is my attribute table changed to upstream now? Yes, back for P102. And let's look at X table now. Should that reflect changes now automatically? What is 4 here? 4 is middle stream. 3 is upstream. I need to change that. But system should take the change automatically. Okay. Ikkada system lo bug. So what I'm doing is I'm manually handling that change. That automatic change తీసుకోవాలి అది. This will get changed to what now? Back to 3. It will actually automatically change. There is a bug in the system. I am handling the change manually. Okay. So now when I run my report now, when I does your navigation level show them as what? Upstream or middle stream? So your navigation level is also showing you present truth, because every time the master data changes, it is showing me the changed value in the reporting. So either display attribute or navigation attribute, both are showing you present truth, because it is they are reading from where? From the master data bus. That's one point. And one more thing is, if you look at the while seeing data of the content, display data, and then you're trying to see, ఇంకా చూపించేటప్పుడు కూడా చూపిస్తుంది అన్నట్టు. అంటే it shows as if it is a, see, along with the product you get to see category, but it is a different color. See, this doesn't mean that it is there in the cube. The blue one, it is reference from the master data and then showing you. So while seeing cube content, you can still be able to see the corresponding navigation attribute value also. But this is not stored inside the cube. Where is my navigation attribute value stored? Normal in the master data bus. From the X table, it is connected to what? Dimension table. But the navigation attribute value is not stored into dimension or not even the fact. Dimension is connected to X table. Okay. Getting this? So what question it will start there? It will ask you a question: what is the difference between display attribute and navigation attribute? Now what do you say? In case of display attribute, it is dependent on the characteristic in the reporting. But when you make it as navigation attribute, it will act as a characteristic in the reporting. If he is really good architect, you would start asking the question: why do you want it to act to us? Why don't you make it as a characteristic in the cube? Question. After discussion started, why do you want it to act as a characteristic? Why don't you make this product category as a characteristic in the cube? Cube lo, like how did you place product? Can I place product category also into cube as a characteristic? And then why do you want it to act to us? That's the question. That is where we get out with exclusive attributes. Now look at this. So I'm going to delete data in this cube. What is this info bit? Yes, prod cat. Okay. I'm going to change this cube now. I would like to add one more product. I'm adding this product category as a characteristic in the cube. Once we have the checkbox attribute only is deselected, I can use this characteristic as attribute as well as in my cube also. Ekkadana vadukochu, right? So I've just changed this cube by bringing product category into the cube now. Now I want to change this. That doesn't have any mapping here. Valida? Okay. So I made the category as a normal, like how do we have product? I'm making this category is also characteristic in the cube now. And do I do specify the mapping for this category? Can I specify it as read master data bus? What is info bit? Can I say read master data bus? So when I'm loading transaction data, I'll do lookup to master data, then I'll fill it. See, in the master data for product, as of now, the category value is what? Upstream for P102, yeah? Okay, right? Now let me close this query designer. So now if I'll have three versions of this object. Product, you see normal product, and this has got normal display version of it. Prod CAD without any underscore. This is like what? This is like normal CAD stick of my cube. What is this? Navigation item. Now let's see all. What is it? This. What is this? Karen cube. What is this? Is all showing display attribute. Focus only on that. P102 bus, okay, is all showing upstream. Your display attribute from master data is showing upstream. Navigation attribute reference from master data is also showing upstream, and the CAD stick from the cube is also showing upstream. Why? The CAD stick was filled by performing lookup to master. In the master data is upstream, so while loading you read lookup to master data, then showing the same. And can your master data keeps changing? Yes or no, boss? Let us assume your P table has changed back. I am changing it, okay, to what? Middle stream. Again I am changing P102 as what? Middle stream in the master database. And should I and actually it should reflect changes in X automatically, but I am doing manually. P102, what is X here? Because 4 is SID of your middle stream. Let me go and run the query. So I have done, after loading data to the cube, let's say the master has been changed now. If you look at focus P102, master display attribute is showing middle stream. Navigation attribute is showing middle stream, but what of the carry in the cube? Did you understand the difference? So when you load the characteristic into the cube, it starts giving you fact, because this value is coming from the dimension IDs, which is in the fact table. So if you want to see the schema, if you look at the fact table, focus on the dimension key 7. Okay, let's 2, 3, 3 and P102. Let's focus only on this record. What is the value? Contact value 5000. See, contact value is 5000. So for this record, my dimension key is what? 3. In the dimension ID is table 7. Dimension key 3 indicates what? 3 indicates what? S side of the product is 3. S side of product category is what? 3 categories downstream. Sorry, upstream, and 4 is middle stream. So since my dimension table is still holding the old SID, it will still show you upstream only. So when you do changes in the market, it is reflecting changes only in the attribute table, not to the cube. So if you make a characteristic informant in the cube, it starts giving you what? Fact. What was the value during transaction? Transaction జరిగినప్పుడు ఏదైతే వాల్యూ అది వస్తుంది, మార్కెట్ మాత్రం present truth. As of today, what do you have? That comes in out. So if you model this informant as a characteristic inside a cube, it starts giving you factors. So questioning it, what is the difference between display and navigational? You would say display attribute is dependent on the characteristic in the reporting, and it stores in the master data and gives you present truth. Navigation attribute also gives you present truth, but it acts as a characteristic in the reporting and you can do restriction variables, anything can be done on those. Yeah. Then I'll ask you, why do you want it to act to us? Because if I make this as a characteristic in the cube, it starts giving me fact to us. When I say fact, what was valued during the time of transaction. But if I maintain that in the master, it gives me present. Present truth, drill down, navigation attribute. Fact, drill down, make it as a characteristic in the queue. Clear, boss? Done. మెయింటైన్ ఒప్పుకోవడం లేదు కదా. SAP public BC, right? SF. కొద్ది లేట్ 7.4లో మెయింటైన్ మాస్టర్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఏ బ్రౌజర్ బేస్ స్క్రీన్ సంథింగ్. Is very big here, so I'll do one thing. Next we are focusing on time dependent attributes. Okay, let me create one info object. All the attributes are copied. Let me create so all the attributes are copied. I'm just trying to remove some of them. Okay, boss. I have